Good morning, everybody.
Boy, did we test everybody today, didn't we?
Good
Oh my
morning,
goodness.
everybody.
Okay, now what is
Boy,
talking?
did we test everybody today, didn't we?
Why am I having an echo on my
Good
computer?
morning.
Oh, wait, that was me. Sorry.
God.
I had my
Okay,
YouTube
who
channel
said
open.
technical difficulties?
I had my YouTube channel open, and it's so bright behind me. We got snow again. We were 67 degrees on Saturday and got snow. I've got about 4 inches of snow out there. They were like, oh, 1 inch maybe. No. So if it gets noisy behind me, it's probably because my snow removal guy showed up.
Okay, that was me too.
He might start scraping on my driveway here in a little bit.
Yeah, I was telling Jen Lynn, I've got all my summer plants out on the deck because it's been almost 80 for a week, and I'm
Wow.
looking at the map and it's like that's a snow band that's coming towards me.
We've got snow like 3 times this week coming. It's like, yeah, okay, so 67 on Saturday. I had Lucy
Mhm.
outside walking around and
You keep it up there, please.
now snow.
I don't want it. When it snows out down here because nobody can deal with it, we're stranded. I mean, the mail doesn't get delivered, nothing happens for however many days it has to melt. It's very entertaining.
Today's a little scarier out there because we got a little bit of sleety ice before it
Yeah,
turned to snow. So when they scrape the snow, you got that ice underneath.
yes, that's what we usually have here in Arkansas.
Hey, Mary, just 2 more months and I'll see you in Sedona.
Woo, it's okay. When is Sedona? Why don't we make that announcement? When is Sedona?
It's in May and it's sold out.
Wow.
But it's mid-May, like May 18th or 19th. So just a reminder to everybody, Sacred Sounds of Coffee's first Monday of every month at 10 a.m. Central Time. Um, this is the month I think we spring forward with daylight savings time. So if you don't do daylight savings time, Google what your time difference is to Chicago. That's in Central Time.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and
And
and it was interesting because Jen Lynn sent me my link at 9:30, and that somehow showed up in the title as the start time.
we'll be back April 4th on Jody Roberts' channel for those that
That's
want to put
right.
it on their calendar.
Yeah, thank you, lucky girl. That's exactly what it did.
Yeah, that when I create a broadcast, because there's some things I have to do behind the scenes,
Yes.
I create them early so the
Yeah.
room opens up. You can come in and chat with people, but we're not live till 10 Central.
Hmm. And if you don't, and if you change the time in the back room to what time it starts, I believe YouTube will open it up 15 minutes early. It'll actually open it up for chatting early, which is something I've seen.
Yeah.
I know the things we do in the background.
So I posted and pinned a link to Jody's channel. If you're not subscribed to her, you want to go get subscribed to her. She's got great sound healing videos on her channel.
In nature and alchemical wisdom every Sunday.
Every Sunday. Got
Yes,
one from a couple of weeks ago with me on there,
yes, we
talking a
do.
little about my backstory. So
I know it's really fun. Yeah,
I
last night I had Joshua on, who is the reason I have that big growly tiger gong, and dragged the sucker in this tiny room, almost blew out the entire sound system. So this morning I dragged in the Chiron gong instead. It's littler. So good morning. How is everybody?
I
Happy Monday.
I'm so froggy throated this morning. I need to sip some more coffee.
Yeah, I didn't even bother with the cup that gets cold. I've got it insulated. I'm just like,
I
I
got
need
my
hot
backup.
coffee.
I got my backup.
You got your back up. I didn't have time. I got my
Thank you,
hibiscuses inside. That was more
thank you, Lucky
important.
Girl, for
Yeah, thank you for.
posting links for us. And just a reminder to anybody, if anybody wants to book an appointment with me, all appointments are booked now through my website at jinlintarot.com. Make sure you spell Jin Lin correctly, 2 N's in Jin, 2 N's in Lin. If you type it wrong, you'll go to somebody else's website and you won't be happy with your reading. It won't be with me. Just kidding. You might have a great reading. It's just not going to be with me.
It's not going to be who you were wanting. Yeah, and I've got my website has my booking calendar with all kinds of interesting sound and intuitive and chakra sessions and classes and stuff. And I'm not awake enough to even go through all that yet. I'm really tired today. We had tornadoes in Arkansas for hours yesterday, and I work a gong and prayers when that's happening. And it was rather interesting because all these storm chasers were just like, oh my God, it's right there as the thing comes down to the ground. I'm like, wow. No, thank you. Yeah, it was pretty gnarly. I don't know if anybody died, but there were a few things that were destroyed. Justin's mom, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Do you think we should start with heart math just to get us all present and accounted for?
Let's do a little sound to get us into our heart area.
Yeah, why don't we do that?
Yeah, it's because it's been so crazy, you know, everything going on in the world, and everyone praying for peace. Let
me change audio. We'll do heart math, and then when we do the end, I will be playing a whole bunch of other stuff, including a gong.
Bring our collective hearts together.
Okay. So heart math, Jody style.
Oh, did you fix your sound? Oh, yes, you did. Okay, I'm going to mute mine so I don't have to.
Okay. Take a hand and put it on your heart chakra and over to your heart area and start breathing. Of course, you can do this without sound, but sound's more fun. So just bring your attention and your focus down into opening your heart chakra, activating the neurons in your heart. Deep breath, slow it down just a hair. Relax your shoulders. And come into the silence and the sacred sound of this heart frequency that's beating in your chest. And as you're breathing, open into a frequency of compassion or gratitude that super activates the heart. A few more deep breaths. And then with your intention and your breath, you're going to direct the compassion, gratitude, and breath into your brain. So the heart is activating the brain cells. Deep breath, breathe it up. Come into harmony between head and heart. Breathe that throughout your entire body and energy body. And once you do your self-care in harmony, if there's any left over, breathe it out your heart chakra to offer it up as a broadcast for peace in the world. One of those bowls is going off.
It's ringing long.
I can hear. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's one of the head bowls on the table. Boy, that was interesting. Okay, let me turn that off. Turn that off, and it's still going.
Still going.
And on and on. So what I'm doing is listening to how we're all coming into tune, and it was really beautiful when I this is called the heart lock-in technique, by the way. If you're doing heart math, you go into coherence or harmony, and then you broadcast the extra. And I see it as blowing pink love bubbles out of the front and back of my heart chakra, and just blowing bubbles into the field. And when we did that part, I really heard both sets of bowls just go yes. So we all pray good, and that's a really easy form of prayer.
That's a great reminder before we do a final meditation at the end. Remember, you have chakras on your backside too. So when you're breathing through the heart chakra, breathe out the back also.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I feel better.
It's just been crazy since our last Sacred Sounds of Coffee, with what's going on in Ukraine. And, we had decided that we would talk about springing forward, springing into action, but not that kind of action. So it's a call to us, I think, collectively to spring into action for peace, and stay centered. Don't let the news, rile you up. Try to stay centered so that you're joining the worldwide collective for peace and harmony.
And we've each pulled a few cards. I know you've got you're pulling cards.
Yeah, I'm going to pull a few cards and see if I can get some angel messages here for us.
Yeah, I've got one. I've got another one coming here.
And we were laughing about our Sacred Sounds of Coffee seem to build on each other. And just a reminder, too, I created a playlist on my website, and I think Jody did, too, for all the Sacred Sounds of Coffee. So you can go to that folder and replay any that you want. A lot of people are replaying at least the meditation portions. But these Monday mornings, once a month, they keep building on each other and building on each other.
We're co-creating with all of you something very sacred over a freaking coffee bean of all things. Or tea. I know we've got tea drinkers out here.
Yeah, you can join us even if you're a tea drinker or if you
water.
Don't.
I have needed a lot of water this weekend because I did my first Gong bath in 2 years, and it's like, oh yeah, I remember those.
It's really hard to stay grounded when people are upset by the visuals they're seeing on the news and everything. There's nothing wrong with taking care of yourself first. If you have to, turn the news off a little bit, go into your safe space, send positive healing energy, try not to send fear. I always pray or meditate as if it's already given. So
yeah, I agree.
I thank the universe. I thank the angels for peace.
Be the peace. Well, we can be the peace. I mean, if we can get ourselves into a state of harmony and peace for just a few seconds and intend that into the field, then we be the peace. I'm on TikTok, and somebody, and I don't know whether it's a TikTok algorithm or somebody else, but somebody created a page in that program, in that app, where if you're in there scrolling through stuff, and there's a lot of stuff on Ukraine in there, this page will come up with short videos on, okay, take a breath, do some self-care. I mean, it's just this really beautiful reminder that we can get sucked into all the trauma and to come back to center before we continue. And I've really been enjoying that because it always shows up at the right time, of course. So you got your cards?
I got my I got my cards, and I'm getting a Jerry Seinfeld message from the
Uh-oh.
TV show. Kind of, I've got
Uh-oh.
justice on the bottom, and the card of benevolence, charity, giving. If you can't afford to give financially, giving your prayers, giving your own peace and harmony up to the universe, and the emperor being the master of our own domain. For those of you that remember that Seinfeld reference, so being in control of our souls, very important at this time, because that's what helps us to bond with the collective. So we have to come from a grounded place in control of ourselves and hook up, with others in the universe. There's a sweet innocence about this. It's quite beautiful. It's like peace is simple, and like if you talk to children, children always come from a sweet, peaceful place. Do no harm energy. I get that that's offering love up to the world, and that sends it out quicker. It sends it out to everyone. But it comes from us nurturing ourselves and being spiritually connected. And I'm getting like, watch out for the energy thieves, that try to the Hierophant dogma or even propaganda, those kinds of things. Watch out for those energy thieves that come in, try to look at things with a little bit different perspective. Things may seem like they're out of balance right now, but remember, there's balance on the bottom here. That's central to the read. The balance comes. There's a lot of people that are watching us, I think, that are quite psychic and intuitive themselves, and it's bringing their energy down a little bit. So find a way to bring that energy back down. Just remember, what you reap is what you sow. So if you can try to find a way to keep your energy a little higher. I get the victory card and the hope card and healing card. So quite beautiful. I can feel the angel energy with us. If anybody in chat's getting the angel tingles across your back.
Beautiful. I pulled a couple of oracle cards from Denise Lynn's Native Spirit deck, one of my old favorites. And the first one the first one that came flying out of the deck before we got on is Flowing River. And this talks about the human tendency of attempting to control things we cannot control. That little thing we tend to do. And I mean, I've lived around a lot of rivers and creeks, and if you dam them up, they find a way. Water finds a way to flow, and tears find a way to flow, and things flow. So the reminder today with Flowing River is be discerning about what we can control, which is usually our self-care and response and what we do with our energy or our emotions when they're extremely triggered, as many of us have been lately. And to have some trust that even though it looks like complete chaos right now, that's part of the death process in the rebirth process. So that was a really nice reminder. And then the second one that popped out was one called Medicine Bag. That beautiful one. And it's funny, I almost forgot to put this on.
Oh, your medicine bag.
And this is God, who made this for me? I think Virgie Ravenhawk in San Antonio made this years ago. And a medicine bag is powerful because of how we imbue it with energy. It's really got nothing to do with anything outside of us. This bag happens to have a Marine Corps medallion and an Archangel medallion for my two warriors on the other side. That'd be Michael and my dad, and Red Eagle, who is also a Marine, my Lakota teacher. And I wear this one a lot when it's not my fancy one. This one I wear a lot when I'm online because it's just a reminder that I have the divine masculine supporting me in what I do. So the medicine is power. That's what it means. And I feel the power as a co-creation. The angels that you were talking about, I'm never alone. We're never alone. And even if we don't have humans around us for a moment, we do have the angelic realm. All you have to do is ask. I mean, Michael's taught me that from day one. Just ask for help, say thank you. It's really easy. And trust that even though we might not be able to see how it's going to turn out, there is something happening that's shifting. This is the thing I see about this reading community and the people that come on these live streams. We are extremely sacred and powerful. I mean, I've been on here watching you guys for however long. Adrian had just moved to DC when I found Johnny and turned her on to, you got to go watch this guy. He's really cool. So I don't know how many years that's been. And, this is not, yes, I know YouTube, it's for entertainment purposes only. And it's not just entertainment. This is a community that we've built of collaborative support. And I just want to say thank you, seriously, for what you all do in your readings and the inspiration that you've given me to get on here and do stuff like this, because I've had a YouTube channel for, I don't know, since 2000 and whatever, early 2000s, and you couldn't pay me to get on here and go live until you guys came into my life. So thank you.
But I think the viewers and subscribers, it's like without them, it wouldn't even be possible, right? So the collective it comes together. It's awesome in this room, every time we do these.
Yeah.
Lucky Mary Girl had her second cup of coffee, so I got to pour mine.
I didn't even bother putting it in a cup. I'm just like, I need warm. We'll keep it in here.
This keeps it warm, but I like my mug. It's funny. People are always giving me new mugs. I've got a zillion cat mugs and everything, but this is my favorite mug. I like the shape, the size, the lip part of it. Like some mugs, like you go to drink and you drip on yourself.
Yeah, I can do that out of a thing with a lid. I'm really good at that, actually.
I've got some where the mugs get so hot you burn your lips if you put them on it and stuff. And I love this mug. So it's my go-to mug. I'm always with this mug.
That's funny. Yeah, see, Vivian, I love the coffee bean background. We discussed whether to change it or not. I do too. It's like we're swimming in coffee. And the smell of coffee beans. Oh my goodness.
I have to go back up to a comment. Sandra said, when the chaos brings me to tears, I say to myself, stop. Then I envision the world I want it to be and not what I see. And that is awesome that we talk about that in the manifesting video. I think we talk about it every time. Using the power of your imagination, your thoughts, to bring down into the heart center to put out in the universe. So very important to as you're sending out peace and harmony to the world, envision it, what it looks like. Johnny and I were talking in Becca last night in the after show about every day there's suffering in this world, but when you get in a time of war, everybody's attention goes on it, and now we have TVs and cameras and drone footage and everything else, that we see more of it and everything. But when I was traveling the world, when I worked in retail, going into a lot of third world countries, it's like every day I would see suffering, children begging, whatever it was, like heartbreaking things. And you can't help, you come out of an airport and there's thousands of children begging, for money there. You can't help thousands and thousands of kids. So, finding your center, staying grounded, and just sending love and light and support to them, however the universe can bring help to them. But it's kind of funny that when we get into a wartime, it brings everyone's attention to the suffering. And we have to remember, send that loving light out all the time, not just when we're in difficult times.
Yeah. Well, and the thing about wartime, there's usually something like that going on this planet, whether we are aware of it or not.
Mhm.
You know, this one definitely jumped into mainstream and the news quickly. And I mean, the thing that I've seen with it is, okay, you know, getting out of the power thing that's going on, but just watching people around the world. Basically, there's a statement that one of my friends says all the time: "Not on my watch. Not on my watch." And
We're the
many,
watchers.
well, we're the watchers, but we're also, because you know we're in a remote viewing group together, and you know something will come up, and she's like, "Not on my watch. I'm taking care of this." And the taking care of it is not, you know, picking up a gun and going to war. I mean, we don't have that ability. It is prayer. It is intention. It is changing frequency, and we have an invitation to do that every single day, with or without a war. There is a lot of suffering on this planet, and I fully believe that humans have the ability to co-create instead of compete with each other. I mean, I believe that. I'm holding that vision as peace, as a way to actualize how we are in the world. And I was saying last night on the show, yesterday afternoon on the show with Joshua, that I'm beginning to ask myself and look at just the normal stuff that happens in a weird business like I have, the marketing techniques that people use, and asking myself if this is as good as we all can do, because there's really interesting energies that are competition minded that go on in businesses, even small ones like mine. And I have literally emailed a few people that are sending marketing to me in the last week, you know, a confrontation of, "This isn't working, do better. Please put something different into the field in the form of collaboration, not competition." And, you
That's
know, and it's like, and then let go of the outcome, because who knows, you know? So one did respond. So
that's it.
we have choice every day to be the peace. And it's difficult when this is going.
Surrender your frustrations. Give
Yeah.
them up. Give them back. Surrender your frustrations.
Mhm.
Trying to spring forward into action. If you feel stuck and you're trying to make that baby step to get energy moving again, it
Mhm.
starts by releasing frustration.
Yeah.
So release that, get grounded, give it back to the center of the earth. Ground it in. Um, give all those frustrations up so that
Yeah.
you can come from a positive place to put out
Mhm.
um, harmony.
Yeah.
Harmony is one of my favorite words. My angels write with me about harmony all the time. The harmonics of the universe. The sounds, the sacred sounds.
Yeah, I know. I know harmonics really well.
Yeah.
Well, and in heart math, the heart math that I'm doing on all these live streams, the harmony is called coherence. They have their own name for it, and I frankly never liked that word. Um, for me, it takes me right into my head. And Greg Braden is the one that started calling it harmony. And I'm like, oh, that so resonates with the music person over here. You know, I want the harmonics of the universe to be my head and heart connected and what I breathe out of my body. And, you know, and it's interesting when things are extremely stressful. I mean, I have a bunch of big gongs. I can play gongs to de-stress. My favorite way is to go outside and hike the streets of this forest
Mhm.
and just be with nature. And I'm one of these that likes to do movement meditation. So, I mean, all these things are really simple. And I was reminded, Jenlyn, when you were talking from the cards, um, one of the things that I see a lot of people do, a lot of clients I work with, is when things change, then I will do a different practice or different ways of de-stressing. My question right now is, what are you doing to take care of yourself? And I hear a lot of things have to change before I can do that. And I seriously recommend that you take 5 minutes a day to do something that de-stresses you, even if the situation sucks. We have
Well,
to do it
and the
now.
change starts with us. So if you want to see change, be the change, right? So if it's just a simple thing of saying a prayer every day or meditating every day, if you're not able to get out and about, if you're able to get active and involved
Mhm,
or whatever to
mhm,
be the change, to progress
mhm, mhm.
um,
Yeah.
human rights agendas and things, get involved that way. Um, but the change, like we can't wait for the change to happen. We have to be the change.
We have to be the change. And I mean, and I understand the especially this last year of things aren't right for me. When they get better, I'll feel better. And it's like, no, I got to do the feel better and the change right now to create what I choose next. And
Because if you're trying to create from a negative space, you're going to
yeah,
create more problems for yourself. So you have to find that change. It's like I always say,
yeah,
only we can make ourselves happy. We can't look for somebody else to
yeah,
make us happy. So we have to be the change mentally, emotionally, relanguaging the
yes.
brain, getting the positive thoughts in, and um,
Okay, I'm looking at a question that Jean Genie asked. Where do you find the motivation to strive for an outcome?
you know,
If we are supposed to believe we already have that outcome, ask Mother Earth. She has the frequency of peace when we ask her, when we put our feet, even if we have to wear shoes. I know it's cold out. Put your feet on Mother Earth. Go outside for a few minutes and put your feet on Mother Earth and ask her for the frequency of peace on earth. She remembers that. She knows how to do that. That's where I get it. Or hug a tree. Johnny was laughing about. I did listen to him laugh about. Go hug a tree with your third eye in your arms. Nature is the best teacher and the best motivator for outcomes that we're intending.
nature changes every day. 67 degrees Saturday, snow out here today. Nature changes every day. So great energy there. It's
Exactly.
um, it's interesting, to try to find that motivation. It comes from within. For me, I was talking with Beth Cat yesterday. I just bought a new necklace pendant that
Uh-huh.
has a mustard seed in it, Faith of the Mustard Seed.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why I have always had a really strong faith that everything will work out. I may not understand what it is or how it is. And I do feel like things happen for a reason, to bring either, like if it's personal for me, it's to bring my awareness to, okay,
Mm-hmm.
time to move on from this and go in this direction. A lot of times, when we hit those walls, um, we may be pushing too hard. It's like, take a step backwards. That's
Mm-hmm.
movement too.
Mm-hmm.
Take a step backwards, go within. Why am I hitting a wall with that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What is the universe trying to tell me? Reconnect to the universe, to Mother Nature, and reconnect to that. And where am I being guided?
Mm-hmm.
When
Mm-hmm.
God closes a door somewhere, he opens a window, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, when I worked in retail, before I started doing readings full time, I was always doing them part time. But before I started full time, I kept trying to interview in retail again, and things would happen, and things would dry up, and I got in a car accident on the way to one interview, and I'm like, I am not supposed to do this. The universe is telling me, stop, take a minute, breathe. I am not supposed to keep working in retail. So taking that time to recognize I'm getting messages here. Hang on. It's, allowing divine order to happen. So if you're not sure what that is, just do a prayer of gratitude. Thank you for bringing me into harmony and allowing divine order to happen. The universe will guide you where you need to go.
Yeah. Yes, it will. And The comment stream today is freaking amazing. The ceremonies and the ways that each of you are coming up with to pray peace and support Ukraine. um, I'm on Twitter and I've looked for the young people that are there in the country, to follow. That they're also young. I am getting really old. They're all babies, and I just honor the bravery of what's going on over there, and it's been really interesting because there are so many times, and I'm so grateful for technology because there are so many times I don't know what to say. I mean, I was raised military. My dad was at war a lot when I was a kid, and it just didn't ever make sense to me. It never made sense to me to do things like this. And what I've been able to do is, once I learned about the sunflower seed thing and the colors of the flag, just make little icons with prayers and sunflower seeds. And it's like an artistic blessing in the
And for
moment.
those that don't know, the sunflower seed is the flower of Ukraine.
Yeah, the sunflower is the flower. Well, it's like the yellow is fields of sunflowers and the blue is the sky. And I've seen fields like that in Texas. So it's so looks like we have some trolls in here today. This is very early for troll season. That's pretty funny. I'm like, you guys are up way too early. I'm sorry. Go away.
Yeah,
Bless you. Well, bless you. Bless all of you, even the trolls, It's like whatever's motivating humans to do stuff like that, it's like, bless you. Be at peace. It's something that Greg Braden's taught me, bless everything and discern what you're willing to set boundaries against. So that's where I really want to thank the moderators.
And watch where you put your focus,
Mm-hmm.
For me, like, faith. I have faith in my moderators. They'll take care of the trolls. So I give,
Oh, yeah. It's great.
no energy to the troll there. Watch where you place your intentions and your focus. So if you're focusing on all the negative, try to find some of the positive stories a little bit.
Yes.
It's hard, and if it means, not to ignore what's happening in Ukraine, but if it means you have to turn the TV off for a little bit and focus on yourself to get grounded, it's hard to even try to help and move into action if you're in a really dragged down energy. So do something that brings your energy up, and it helps your clarity and thinking too.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I tend, because of my life, to go for art, beauty, and music as a way to change frequency. And when I found out the sunflower was the flower of Ukraine, I mean, mind you, I've probably taken 10,000 photographs since I moved to this place, and I had sunflowers voluntarily grow from birdseed that fell into pots last year. And I have taken most of my stills off my phone, which is my camera, because it won't fit on there anymore. And as soon as I found out, I'm like, let me go see what's still on here. And I've had enough to make a slideshow video with my music of sunflowers and hummingbirds and the sunrise, just what I have seen about the sunflower. And it's like, that's art that I can present as a blessing for Ukraine, which I have. And it's just, I feel, because of social media, because of the way people are communicating, like we have so much more of an ability to know what's going on and heart connect, because I'm seeing a lot of really inspiring stories. I mean, I'm seeing some horror. I don't tend to watch a lot of mainstream news. I'm watching people that are there on Twitter mainly. And they are asking for our prayers. Yes, they're asking for other things that none of us can give them, but they're asking for our prayers, and they are feeling them. So I'm like, okay, I know how to pray and I do this part,
It's funny. Last year, I have a labyrinth garden in my backyard, and last year I planted sunflower seeds, and now I live
Mm,
in the corn belt. There's cornfields behind my neighborhood,
yeah.
right through the woods. There's cornfields, and you see sunflowers and corn everywhere here. Like, it's very easy to grow.
Ooh.
I could not grow my sunflowers last year, and I think the universe was trying to give me a message, so to speak. Like, I can plant anything in my dirt and it grows. It's so healthy that it's just
Mhm.
very abundant. I put the sunflower seeds in there and could not even get them to grow. Like, they grew up a little bit and just disappeared. I was like, okay, I have to try them again now, because I think the universe was trying to give me a message last year and see if I can get my sunflowers to grow.
Yeah, I actually pulled out. I'm packing for whatever the house is that's appearing because it isn't yet, and I pulled out a baggie of some sunflower seeds I had ordered last year. And same thing, I planted mine, they didn't grow. And knowing this place, the birds and the squirrels are like with binoculars going, "Ooh, she just put sunflowers in the dirt, go get it." They tend to do that. And I took these sunflower seeds, and when I did the gong bath on Saturday, I literally put them on the altar and played 10 gongs, into, into the sunflower seeds. And I'm like, I wonder if you'll grow now. You just needed a little activation here.
Yeah, Roland, I have to comment to your comment, because she's like, talking about the youth, that
Uh-huh.
they'll
Oh
bring a
yeah.
lot of change and everything. I agree.
Oh
I
yeah.
think the generation that's coming on will bring a lot of change, but we shouldn't wait for the youth. We have to step into that energy too and lead by example.
Yeah.
How will the youth know,
Hmm.
and make good decisions and everything, unless we lead by example? So, in a way, even though I don't have children of my own, parenting through my own
Yeah.
example that I live.
Yeah.
Um, so if I, can find, a charity that helps, with Ukraine or whatever,
Hmm. Hmm.
research it. There's a lot of,
Hmm.
unfortunately, scammers and fraud things out there. So really research before you
Yeah.
donate to a charity if you're doing that.
Yeah.
Um, calling your local senators and representatives, and, um, asking, what else can we do for Ukraine, putting, pressure on them to keep
Hmm.
helping.
Hmm.
Um, if you can make phone calls, that's awesome. I have to talk about one thing. I did see, just positive. I love this myth, man. Chef Andre, he's the one that went down to Puerto Rico and cooked for
Yes.
weeks and months down there, for after they went through their, hurricane. And he was
Hmm.
in, Houston, when they had all the flooding after a hurricane. And he goes around to all these natural disasters, and cooks and cooks and cooks. And I just adore him. He's over there on the border, Poland and Ukraine, cooking for the refugees. Some of them have been walking all day with no food to eat, and he's
Hmm.
there with a hot meal.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I've been trying to research, like, is there a way to give money to him, to
Yes.
help him, because he's
Yeah,
just,
there is. He's got a nonprofit. He's doing this out of a nonprofit. Yeah,
oh,
definitely.
I'll
He
have to get that with you, because I want to see if, like, if he's in YouTube, if there's a
Oh
nonprofit connected to
yeah.
him. Like, I know there's World Kitchen. I don't know if he's connected to that or not.
Isn't
Uh,
that his nonprofit? That might be yeah, I think that might be his nonprofit, but we'd have to look at. Yes, he's got one. I know people who have
yeah.
donated. Yeah,
Um,
I've watched some of his interviews, after cooking all day on the border of whatever country he's in, just in tears. He is one of the most biggest compassionate hearts I have ever seen anywhere. Yeah, he does.
it's like you
World
look at
Kitchen.
this man,
Thank you, Terry. Yes, World Kitchen, World Central
Central
Kitchen
Kitchen.
is his nonprofit.
Yes, I may try to do a fundraiser for them, because,
That's a good idea.
he's wonderful. And then, also, Doctors Without Borders.
Yes.
They're going over, and,
Yeah.
with YouTube, I have to wait till, charities are set up in there before I can,
Yeah.
like, do fundraisers. So, I'll investigate that World Central
Yeah,
Kitchen.
my guess
I
is
think I
with as
looked at
big as
World
he
Kitchen.
is, and he's got a YouTube channel. My guess is he's got it. He's got that.
Yeah.
Somebody asked Sue Malik, what is a gong bath? Okay, let's see. Um, See that round thing back there? That is actually a Chiron gong, 32-inch Chiron gong. A gong bath is a name for playing gongs as a sound cleanse and refill. And I have 10 gongs, and when I move and I'm living alone in the house, I will be able to broadcast in the gong chamber again. And because of COVID, the last gong bath I had done was in February of 2020. And up here, I just didn't, just didn't do it. The downstairs in this house has got a lot of mold, and I just didn't want to bring people down there. Well, because of what happened downstairs, they're all upstairs now. And I did a gong bath in the place that I live, which all the readers have said, move out of there, it'll never work. And 16 people crammed in my living room, it was hysterical. And it was, I mean, I need to be playing gongs. And I had one of my students and my really good friends play with me, and we wove prayer and music through the entire sunroom and living room. And I'm standing up, coming from one set. We each took 5 gongs at a time, and I walked over to the window, and there were blue herons on this lake. And the blue heron, the big one, was on top of my boat dock with his neck stretched as straight and as high as he could stretch it so he could look in. He was listening. I don't know. I'm out there like, okay, don't yell. Everybody's asleep. How do I play a gong, get a phone in one hand to take a picture, which I did. So it's a way to do sound healing where my experience of gong baths especially is your entire being gets deconstructed, reconstructed, and grounded at the same time. I mean, I love them. I have severely missed them, so I'm like, yay, they're back. Yay, they're back.
It's hard, even in our personal lives, when we're struggling with like grief or loss or anything, and then much less seeing it on a more massive scale as we're seeing it on TV now. I try to always go to that place of I'm thankful that I had the opportunity, to know this person in my life. It's harder, like my grandfather or someone I was close to, a pet, anyone, that I cherish. It's like, I'm grateful I had the opportunity to get to know them and love them and grow with them. But when you're seeing it on a more mass scale, it's hard to find, because we don't know these people, but we do. They're like us. They're just people living their ordinary lives every day. So, helping those souls that have crossed on to transition, grateful for their sacrifice, but also grateful for whatever they brought into this world for however long they had. It's one way of kind of dealing with the grief, but it's a little bit difficult when you're seeing it on a larger scale and seeing children and women and men, older people, young people. It's very difficult.
That's one of the things I do when I'm doing a gong bath. I'm creating a container for everybody who's in the room and praying everything outside of the room too. And I am a death walker in my shamanic path, so I pray souls across, and I do it with the music. I mean, it's with Ho'oponopono. I mean, that's what I do the entire time I'm playing gongs. Is I'm in prayer, and it was very powerful Saturday because of what's going on in Ukraine. I mean, I could feel somebody over there and the fear and everything that was going on. I mean, it was an amazing experience actually channeling like that with the gong and shifting the energy as much as I could, in our own little tiny ways that we can.
And we have to remember too, like, especially like, when I see an older person that died, maybe, they didn't have the ability to evacuate, to get out, whether they didn't have a car or they're physically not able and they pass away. maybe that's their way of helping their country from the other side, that they can do more from the other side.
Oh yeah.
So I'm
Oh yeah.
I'm very grateful to those that have sacrificed their lives to help
Yeah.
from the other side.
Yeah, I have checked in with a number of people that are on the other side, and believe me, they're all helping what's going on this planet. We're in the crescendo of change on this planet, not just because of the war, but that's where we are, and we have a lot of angelic help.
Yeah,
A lot.
it's interesting too. Like, when you think about Putin, he tries so hard to force divisiveness
Mhm.
over and over, and what he's done is brought the world together in a
Mhm.
bigger way. It's like
Oh yeah.
boom,
Oh yeah. Well,
here
and
we are all
I
pulling
tend to
together.
stay away from the political aspect of it,
Hmm.
and I'm looking at the human aspect of it. I mean, my dad was in Vietnam when I was in high school, and that was not a very popular. Nobody supported the military in those days. Um, what I'm seeing now is for us, the norm. Well, we're not quite normal, but the normal people, the people that are aware of what's going on and want to make a difference in the world. We have come together in a form of cooperation that I have seen in Texas when there are hurricanes. I mean, I've seen the same thing in a smaller scale. And I don't think anybody in the power structure expected that. And that is the most powerful thing we can do, is be the peace that way. There's somebody on Twitter, I don't remember her name, but she is stranded in one of the cities getting bombed on. She's in the basement with two cats, and she's got thousands of people on Twitter checking in with her every day. And, I mean, there's not a dang thing we can do to help her except support her energetically. And watching there's like memes now on Twitter of the cats of the Ukraine and all these pictures. Can we send you cat food? I mean, it's really pretty amazing to see how we've all stepped up
Yeah.
to end the divisiveness.
If we can't do something for Ukraine, or like financially, maybe we're not in a place we have money to donate or whatever.
Mhm.
If we can't find something to do for Ukraine, just be aware that your friends, and family may also be going through this energy that's pulling them down. So calling and checking on someone else is another great way to lift
Mhm.
energy. So try to reach out to someone else that may be struggling with this, and find a way to bring your energy and their energy up together.
Mhm. Exactly.
Sharing harmony.
Yeah, well, we are powerful together.
How
That's what I'm seeing. That we are really. I've been extremely. I have felt better about the human race watching what we've all done because of Ukraine than I have in a long time, because there's been so much divisiveness, and it's like, okay, we can do this. We got this. We can do this together.
I'm hearing my angels singing the song, "I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony," and I'm like, don't get me demonetized, copyright. And I was like, yeah, I can't put that out there. Don't be singing that. I'll get a copyright strike. But they're singing that to me. It's like, yeah. So
Yeah.
finding music. Music is a great way to bring your energy up.
Yes.
It's my go-to.
We need to be playing
Nature and
music
music.
soon, or we're going to run out of time in our live stream.
Yeah, we got to get to our little meditation and
Music bath. This is going to be a sound bath, not including a gong.
yeah, music sound bath.
Music sound bath.
Um, Starting as we always do with a little meditation. Um, I'll try to timestamp this later. So, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Ariel, we surrender to your mercy, compassion, and healing. We thank you for helping us bring peace and harmony, not just to Ukraine, but to humanity as a whole, to bring this world together. as a whole to bring this peace and harmony. We thank you for helping us release our frustrations or anger or grief so that we can move forward in divine order in the white light of love. We can move forward and bring the change that we want to be. We thank you for aiding those who have lost their life in their transition to the other side. We thank you for aiding them. And we thank you for those who are able physically to go over and help for their assistance. We thank you for protecting them and protecting the people of Ukraine.
And I'm going to add also a blessing for the people of Russia that are struggling through this as well, because
Absolutely.
they are. Okay, and I'm going to change settings of music now.
Thank you, Jody. I have gotten all kinds of angel messages while you were doing that. So I'm doing a little channeling here of Raphael. I'd just like to share for a minute before we close. Raphael was telling me when we feel less than or fear, we're separating ourselves from divine energy, divine light, divine love. So trying to nurture ourselves, bringing ourselves back into that nurturing divine feminine energy will help us find our faith. There are little miracles every single day. If you watch a little flower blooming, there are little miracles every day. Have faith in miracles on a bigger scale. And then Raphael was talking about whining, whining, complaining, and regurgitating that energy is not being a part of the solution. So whining, complaining energy is lowering your vibration, is lowering the collective vibration. Find a way to be a part of the solution. If that's just being a soldier yourself that is guarding yourself and your own intentions. We may not be able to be a soldier somewhere else, but we can be a soldier of light by guarding our own intentions and our own visions of what we are trying to create in the world. So I hope that helps everyone. Thank you for that wonderful sound bath. I was like getting Raphael right and left. I had to start making notes. I was like, wow.
Well, and the gong that I was playing is Chiron, the wounded healer. And what I heard in him at one point early on was a pop in the dissonance and a pop, which is the sound healing portion of what we're doing. And a very clear message that our own personal self-care is key in these times that we live in. And I'm not surprised Raphael came in. He would hang out with Chiron.
Yeah, very healing.
So,
I mean, we can cry with them, but at the same time, tears won't help. Action, moving, thoughts.
Well, my experience in the shamanic work is tears are, according to Mother Earth, the most sacred water on the planet.
Yeah, it's a release.
It's a release. And when I was told that, it was when I was in training about 35 years ago. And what the other part of the message was, if humans do not learn how to be in their hearts enough to cry, blood will flow. When I look at what's happened since then, I'm like, we need some emotional intelligence on this planet. So I'm a crier for Mother Earth.
Well, I think a lot of us can be moved to tears. Have the tears, but then let that move you, motivate you into action.
Yeah, the tears are the cleanse, and then do the action part.
Help you step forward. So back April 4th on Jody Roberts' channel for Sacred Sounds of Coffee. I'm going to have to go buy some more coffee before then.
I got to make sure in all my packing, I keep that. Well, of course, I'll keep that coffee making thing. Got to make sure I have coffee.
Thank you all so much for joining us. And stay positive in your thoughts. Find a way to be on the lookout for the little miracles every day, because bigger miracles do happen too.
They're here, and we are of service, and we are needed. All of us, every one of us.
Thank you so much. We'll see you guys next month.
Bye.